Hey, everybody. This episode is brought to you by nobody because we've never done this before. My brother and I, between the two of us, we watch a lot of movies. We've grown up like that. And we decided to do a podcast talking about our favorite movies of the past decade from basically 2010 to 2019. And yeah, we had a lot of fun doing it. We thought maybe it would be fun to share it. So our goal was to come up with a shared list of our top 25 movies that we can both agree on that were great. That ended up being more difficult than we initially thought because there's a lot of movies out there and not everybody has seen everything. And having just two of us trying to fill out that list got a little tough. 20 to 25 was a little tough. We tried to keep this episode into under an hour. Didn't happen. We almost went 2.5 hours. But if you like movies like we do, we think you might enjoy it. Our final list, both of our individual lists of our favorite movies of the last 10 years and our shared final list of the top 25 is going to be online. There's a link to it in the show notes, so check it out. And feel free to email us at an email address that I'll figure out later, but that'll also be in the show notes. And since this was the first time us recording something like this, definitely the first time I've ever done anything like this or edited any audio like this, the quality could be better, but it's okay. It'll get better. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoy it too. At the end of the episode, I'll do a summary recap of what our top 25 movies are. But until then, enjoy. Here is my brother, Matthew Robinson, and me, Alex Martinez. Oh, well, shit. Here we go. All right. I realized in trying to figure out, like, if the goal is to decide on a common top 25 of the past decade, there's only two of us, so there's no tiebreaker, right?
Right.
And so if we don't come up with a different system other than just voting, we're just going to be arguing about the Last Jedi for 3 hours, you know? So I figured, since I looked over the movies that you've seen and how you rated them, I think we should start by going off your list. And I think that any movie that makes it into our shared top 25 should get like the 2 votes, like 2 yeses from both of us.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And whatever room is left over, let's say we can only, let's say the crossover between your list and my list is only 15 movies. The remainder 10 spots we can, argue about, I guess.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And we'll try to do this in an hour or so. But first thing I realized that, I don't know if this is good or bad, or I don't know how accurate both of our lists are, but I have seen way too many movies. I've seen a lot. I had to stop at 74.
Yeah. These are movies you went and saw.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, like I either went and saw, or I watched them at home or something.
Okay.
It's a lot, man. I have a problem. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see Knives Out yet. So, even though I heard it's awesome and amazing, but I think the first thing we should probably discuss, though, is what we're gonna do with Avengers. Because that could take up, I know. So I noticed that you have the Avengers and Avengers Endgame in there, but you didn't see Infinity War.
That was the last. The last one, right?
No, the Infinity War was second to last. Endgame is the end.
I have it wrong then.
Oh, okay.
I saw the penultimate one. That was Infinity War.
No. The last one, the most recent one is Endgame.
Yeah, so the one before that was Infinity War.
Wait, let me double check that.
That's what the word penultimate means.
I know. I'm just making sure. Let's see, Avengers. Yeah. Avengers. Yeah, Infinity War. Avengers Infinity. So it's the Avengers, then Infinity War.
Okay.
Oh wait, am I wrong? No, I'm right. Yeah, yeah. It's Avengers, then Infinity War, and then Endgame. So you saw Endgame.
I saw Infinity War.
Oh, so you haven't seen Endgame. Okay.
I have not seen the last one.
All right. Well, here's my take. You take it or leave it. I don't feel comfortable putting all three Avengers in the taking up 3 spots. In game, like the first Avengers, I think was such an event, and it was so much fun, and it was Josh Whedon just being amazing, right? Kind of setting a high bar, and there was in game or Infinity War rather, like I appreciate it more after watching Endgame. Endgame is really good, and it helped me appreciate like what Infinity War was setting up. But I do think Infinity War is kind of the weaker of the 3. But
Okay.
given the fact that you've seen, would you if you were deciding your top 25, would you want those 2 Avenger movies? Would you feel comfortable with those 2 Avenger movies?
No.
Going on?
No, I mean, I think we're very off on that, which is probably something we should save for the recording. But like, I am not impressed by most Marvel movies these days.
Oh, so none of these. That's fine with me. If none of these make your cut, that's totally fine.
Yeah, like the Avengers, the original one was like fun, but I didn't think it was that good.
I thought it was pretty. I thought it was a lot of fun, and it did some interesting things. And like I usually with like big epic action sequences, my eyes like glaze over and I just tune out until it's done. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But with that one, it was actually like, I mean, there was a ton of like the swashbuckling metric, whatever. If you can measure swashbuckling, like it was great. I thought, and it was just, I don't know, I loved it. But at the end of the day, they are kind of like, as much as I think what Martin Scorsese said about like superhero movies in the Marvel universe being not cinema, like he's kind of right. He's just kind of a dick for saying it, because there's nothing wrong with going to the theater and like for like a popcorn type of movie, in my opinion.
No, he is right, well, you're both right, but I think my problem is like I think Disney is taken that what we used to call a popcorn movie and like I don't know, they've somehow made it even more shallow. I don't know. It's like I don't know.
I hear what you're saying.
The first
I agree.
The first Iron Man is so much better movie than 90% of the other Marvel movies.
Right.
Like, it's just not even funny. It's like, and they hadn't figured it out yet. And they hadn't, like, turned it into a machine yet at that point.
Well, because they, one thing I do appreciate how Marvel handled this is, like, Iron Man was like a test. From what you tell me, but I heard Iron Man as a character was kind of like a B-list character in the comic book franchise, right? It wasn't even like a big superhero, but that was their first attempt. That was their first run at making a movie, and based on that, they were going to decide if they were really going to turn this into a whole, like, decade more long, cinematic experience. Yeah, and I agree. Like, I think the first Iron Man is great. I think it all hinges on Robert Downey Jr. personally, totally. But I thought it was great.
Yeah, he was like a B level hero, I guess, whatever. But the character of Tony Stark, and then played by Robert Downey Jr., is just way more interesting than a lot of the other stuff.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna remember you said all this when we get to Star Wars. So, but yeah, for right now, if none of the Avengers are on the final 25, like, I'm okay with that. I would probably choose the first Avengers movie, maybe Endgame, but I'm lukewarm about it in general. So,
see, all the stuff we're saying should be part of what we're saying. You know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean?
What we're discussing right now should just be part of the thing.
It is a part of the thing. Yeah, this is the recording. This is it.
All right.
Like this is
All right.
this is
I thought
like
you
the
were
discussion.
You're gonna say go or something.
Oh no, I've been recording.
No, I've been recording too. I just
Yeah. So like, but like the discussion of making the list to me is the fun part.
Okay.
And the more interesting part.
See, for me, like, and part of it's superhero burnout is a big part of it for me. So like, I'm drawn to those movies that are less like the others, right?
Okay.
So I would put Guardians of the Galaxy number 1.
Ooh, that's a good point.
The first one. I don't mean at place number 1. Just the first Guardians of the Galaxy, and Taika Waititi's Thor, which is Ragnarok, right? Those are just, to me, so much better than almost the entire rest of the slate of Marvel movies.
Yeah, I would like the first Guardians of the Galaxy was so like important because it kind of like added this whole other dimension. No pun intended, but added a whole other dimension to the MCU, and it was kind of like, here's another approach. Here's another way you can go about this.
Yeah, they didn't feel like superheroes. It felt like just this fun science fiction thing.
It was Firefly. Let's be honest. It was Firefly,
A Firefly maybe a little more kiddie than Firefly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but super fun, and yeah, I thought it was great. And it was funny. God, it was so funny. The humor in it was great.
It was.
And yeah, I'd be interested. Like, man, I wish you would have seen Endgame. You don't know? You should watch Endgame. In general.
Yeah, I probably will. I have Disney Plus, so I really have no.
There's a really good moment. Just forget it. I can't say anything.
I know
Whatever.
Everyone's in it, so
Well, yeah, but how they like, the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, plays a role in game, and how it plays a role is so like smart and funny and.
Okay.
And it just makes you think like, God, were they writing this thing all the way back then? Like, how long did they have this?
The big plan.
Yeah, the big plan in mind.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty thoughtful.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
in general, like the whole MCU thing, like it was such an event over the last decade, especially the Avengers, like how it was going to wrap up. Like it was such a cinematic event. Like it would be weird not to include something from the MCU in the top 25.
Yeah.
I would probably lean more towards Guardians. Right?
And
or Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok.
I like Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I like Ragnarok.
Because I thought the first Thor movie was, it's okay. Second Thor movie I did not like at all.
Yeah. The first Thor movie was like a great fish out of water story. Yeah. And it was funny, but
I will tell you, Avengers, Infinity War. This is jumping way ahead, but the same reason I have just become more and more negative about the new Star Wars movie. It's because it's the same problems I had with Infinity War, like the same.
Right. It's
just this ridiculous, choppy, short scene after short scene, no character development. It was stupid. It's like it was just a waste of time. It was just useless characters. A lot of scenes that are really just so one person can have their wisecrack line, and then they jump to the next scene, and it's just like, ugh.
I do think Marvel had more hits than misses, where I don't feel that way about Star Wars, the new Star Wars.
Well, a lot more Marvel movies.
Yeah, there's a lot more. But in general, I don't know. It's hard to say. Okay, only if we're only comparing Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Have you seen Rise of Skywalker or whatever it's called? Yeah, the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, that's what I was
You
saying.
seen all three of them?
That's the one I'm talking about, comparing to
Yeah.
Infinity War.
I don't know if any of those three movies beat any three Marvel movies. I really don't, in my opinion.
Marvel movies?
Just at least the Marvel movies are like, yeah, they're superficial and they're kind of like, they're not like Michael Bay actiony. They're not like a cash grab, but I think they're more cohesive. I think they're all wrapped around a central idea. There's a through point through all of those movies that finally all culminate in Endgame, and I think that's a huge achievement. Like there's like this master plan at some point when Marvel knew they had something, they have this giant flow chart of a master plan of how they're going to play this thing out through multiple directors and over a decade of movie making and all this other stuff. Yeah. And then it was all going to wrap up in the end. And they did that over a dozen movies or so. And Star Wars can't pull that off in 3, right? And Star Wars, like most Star Wars fans, like when we walk into the theater, we meet you halfway. We're like, we want to like this movie, like we're here for it. But for me, like they've been kind of more disappointments than like achievements, in my opinion.
See, I would say Infinity War was a total cash grab. They needed this filler movie to get them to their next one, so they made this horrible, choppy, nonsensical movie, and that is tragically what the last Star Wars movie was kind of too. It was like just this rushed, choppy thing that was terrible.
Yeah,
I'll say one thing for Force Awakens, like they have actual like scenes, like thoughtful scenes where things happen for a reason, and characters get to develop it to at least some level. And there's none of that in the last Star Wars movie, and I don't think there was any of that in Infinity Wars.
You got to see Endgame. Like I said, I didn't like Infinity War until I saw Endgame, and I was like, oh, okay, this kind of makes sense. There was a point to all of that, but I still think it's the weaker of the three. But Star Wars, to me, like, there's just too many characters, which is Marvel's problem too. Like, there's so many characters, but at the end of the day, it all kind of boils down into Iron Man and Captain America and Thor, right? The three favorites, the three big ones. Right. But they do a good job, like, spreading it out, and, like, there's some interesting moments. Whereas, like, the new Star Wars, there's a ton of characters for character's sake, and I just don't. It's just too much. So I didn't know you and I would more or less be on the same page about the new Star Wars movies, because they didn't make my list at all. Rogue One is kind of on the bubble. I like Rogue One a lot. I think it's the best one.
Oh my god, Rogue One's like one of the best Star Wars movies of like all of them.
Yeah, Rogue One's not on your list, by the way. I don't know if that was intentional, but I didn't see it on there.
What?
Yeah, if you go to your list, there's no Rogue One.
Oh crap! Well, there should be.
So,
yes.
Would you put Rogue One in your top?
Yes, I would.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
How did I not?
If you,
because I didn't rank these. I just rated them.
Well, I didn't. I started to rank mine, but I was like, this is going to take way too long, so I just stopped. So cool. I'm putting Rogue One on
my 1 to 5 scale. I would give Rogue One a 4.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I would give Solo.
You gave Solo a 3? I can see it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Matt.
What?
Solo is the worst of all of them.
No, it's not.
Maybe Return of the Jedi or Last Jedi is pretty bad, but
no, Rise of Skywalker is the worst of the recent.
Yeah, maybe. It's pretty bad.
Ryan,
it's all pretty bad.
I disagree with a lot of choices that Rian Johnson made in Last Jedi, but at least he knows like how to make a scene. Like this last one, because you know the deal with this last one was like they fired the guy that was doing it, and they made J.J. Abrams come back in, and then they didn't give him as much time as they were really going to, and then they edited it after he was done without him around.
Yeah,
I mean the thing's just a Franken movie. It's terrible.
I know. It's not. He inherited a bad gig, but
I'm sure he made a lot of money.
I mean, I'm sure he made a lot of money, but like, it's crazy to me that like Disney of all studios had like almost like no control over the storyline of this, because you know there's a lot of ideas that Rian Johnson introduced, and then J.J. Abrams just completely undid. Right, like the fact that those two weren't on the same page. You know, I mean, and Carrie Fisher passed away too. Like, I think she was supposed to be the Skywalker Rising, or at least play a much more central role.
She's supposed to become a Jedi and all that stuff.
Like, I know J.J. Abrams got a bad hand, but I don't know. Like, as a fan of Star Wars, like I would have waited another year, figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah, I would
make some cuts.
I would have happily waited longer.
But like, did you notice that, like, one of the big ideas that Johnson introduced in The Last Jedi was like, it doesn't matter who your parents are, anybody can, everybody's born, and then and JJ's, no, we're not doing that, and then Kylo like destroyed his helmet, but then JJ put it back together, and then Rose was like a big new character, and then she was barely in the last one. There's a ton of these, like, just the fact that there was just kind of like this correction that I think both movies introduced a lot of interesting ideas, but they didn't earn them. They didn't pay them off, in my opinion. And then the second one, in that scene when they go to like Macau or Monte Carlo place
in Last Jedi,
yeah, I'm just like, this looks so bad. This is so hacky.
That was a video game side quest that was stupid.
Yeah, and it started to get like kind of convoluted. Like, okay, we got to go do this. We got to go destroy the ship, but first we have to find this code breaker on this thing. Yeah. And then he's going to help us do that. Well, wait a minute. Now we're arrested. So now we can't find that code breaker. Now we got to break out. And it kept like Harry Potter does the same thing, where it just gets like, what are we doing here? Like, what, you get lost of like, okay, what are these characters? Anyways, it gets all convoluted.
And and you know how you're talking about introducing all kinds of characters and stuff. What a squandered character, because you have this great actor. Now I don't remember his name. God dang it. Del Toro, right? Benicio Del Toro.
Yeah, but yeah.
Great character, playing probably a more interesting gray area type person than you'd see in modern Star Wars movies anymore. And he's just squandered. Like he flips and he's a bad guy, and then you never see him again. And it's like, come on, this could have been some cool guy you use in the next movie.
Yeah, he could have been like...
He could have been the new Han Solo-y kind of, exactly. Mystery figure.
Yeah, and has an arc, because he's kind of a scumbag, right?
Yeah.
And he's like explaining... And then he introduces the concept of like, hey, this is a war, and there's arms dealers.
Right.
That's how this works, and the rich are still rich. Yeah. Like, that's kind of like the more...
So...
I don't know, whatever.
Rian Johnson had some big ideas that I admire, the one being that you don't have to be a Skywalker or whatever to be a Force is a big one. And then the whole anti-war kind of subtext I liked. But if you tried to like apply logic to how he put that movie together, it's like, no, this is just dumb.
Yeah. Right.
Which is funny because he's trying to flip things in that movie, and that's why there were so many Star Wars fanboy rage monkeys online. after that movie.
Yeah.
But then you go and see Knives Out, and he's doing it again. Like he's flipping.
Don't tell me anymore.
Well,
like I really want to see
I'm just gonna say, he's taking the murder mystery genre and he's flipping it, and it's really cool, and it worked way better than Star Wars did.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm not. I was in on like Looper, like how he messed with time travel. Like I'm a fan of the guy. I just think that. I think that like, if you're trying to make a Star Wars movie that still has anything to do with the Skywalker storyline, I think you're fucked. I really do. I think, and as a fan, I was done with the Skywalker story. Like I was good. Like the Empire, supposedly I thought were defeated, but I guess not. None of that mattered, by the way. The original three, like when they defeated the Empire and threw the Emperor down the thing, like none of that mattered. Didn't matter.
Yeah, it's kind of
like,
in a way, this is gonna sound really bad, but in a way, it's kind of bad that Disney came in and these new movies got made while the old cast were still alive.
Yeah.
Because if they weren't, I bet you it would have just been in the Star Wars universe, but a totally different thing.
Right. Yeah. Which is, Rogue One was a step in the right direction, right? It was a smaller story. It's still loosely related. But then I definitely when they introduced Vader, I was like, no, that's not what I wanted. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need him. This movie was fine without any kind of nostalgia.
See, I wasn't bothered by that connection, because that was like just kind of a deep cut, like for people that really care about the whole trilogy. Like, okay, this is coming in right at this point, and like that didn't bother me.
Yeah, I hear you, but I even thought the way he was played was like, he didn't move like Vader usually moves. He was way too gesticulate. The whole like, don't be sure not to choke on your own ambition line. I was like, oh, come on. But it didn't need it. Like if you remove that, right? If you and you just make it like this spy heist movie, whatever you want to call it, it was fine. It was totally fine. I just didn't feel like it needed it. I even cringed a little bit, but whatever.
And it ended, like, if you don't take from that point, if you end from when they actually die, then it ended in a way that Star Wars movies don't end, right? It's like, it's kind of a tragedy, kind of the heroes are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer, but that's war, right? I mean, if we're, I don't know. Okay. Again, we could keep talking about Star Wars, but it's already occupied too much of my brain. Moving on to a franchise that I think did do it right is Blade Runner. I thought that was wonderful. I don't know about you, but I thought it was Blade Runner 2049. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
personally,
it was a great movie, and I will still always love the first one more, but it is a great sequel. Like, and it has an old character in it, but
precisely
they didn't do it all weird. Like, they didn't try to make Harrison Ford the still the hero of it or anything. Like,
it was the right amount of both. I feel it was the right amount of like, hey, like, here's this new story, but it runs parallel to the old one. It wasn't a remix. It was like, like there's some unfinished business kind of story.
Yeah.
And the way it was shot, and like that director, is it Denis Villeneuve, whatever? He can do no wrong in my mind. Like he's just killed it.
What else did he do?
Arrival, which I love.
Yeah.
Sicario, which should be on my list, and I can't believe I forgot about that movie.
Well, I haven't seen that, so.
Sicario, you think is one of those movies where it's like, okay, another like cops, robbers, bang bang action flick.
Yeah.
Man, it is deep.
Is it about drug cartels?
It's really, really good. Yeah, kind of. But drug cartels, Emily Blunt's an FBI agent who basically gets screwed over by the CIA, you know, and Benicio del Toro, like he is Sicario, like he plays this really interesting character. I never saw the sequel. I don't think Villanueva I don't think he did the sequel, but he's also doing Dune this year.
Yes,
which should be pretty good.
Yeah, that's like that's one of the sci-fi holy grails. Is can anyone do Dune right? You know.
Right. Yeah. Because I mean, let's be honest. The original one does not hold up.
No.
I tried watching it a while back. I was like, ugh, can't.
Well, I watch it for fun.
Yeah.
There's some terrible dialogue, and you get to watch Sting be really bad, and you know.
Yeah. But Blade Runner I think is great.
Oh, it's great.
It's Sicario. Well, you know, man, I can't put all of his movies in here, but
you know what's funny too is like I think the weakest like significant character in Blade Runner 2049 is Jared Leto. Like,
yeah,
I thought he was a little bit. I don't know, just I'm a bad guy.
Yeah, I don't. I totally agree. He was kind of like he had all the visuals. I don't know. It's hard to explain. He wasn't nearly as interesting. He's the villain, and he's just not this interesting character.
Yeah.
Right.
They made his assassin more interesting.
Right. Yeah.
No, that's a great movie, and like, it ends kind of in the same kind of beat as the first one. You know, he's like dying on the steps, and that's just like Roy Batty dying, and it's, yeah, it was good.
Did you see? Wait, first of all, so like, are you okay with putting Blade Runner in our shared list for right now?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so that's in there. Blade Runner 2049. Did you see Drive?
No.
Man,
I gotta tell you, like, a lot of times with movies that just sell themselves as action movies, I'm probably not gonna spend money on them.
I hear you. And that was why I'm glad you said that, because I love Drive. I freaking love that movie. It was marketed as an action movie, and that's why it bombed, because a lot of people went there expecting like a Fast and the Furious kind of movie. If you watch the trailer, it's like a bunch of car chases, stuff like that. There's hardly any car chasing in that movie.
Right.
It's this pulp Tarantino-esque type of story.
Yeah, and you had told me that too. I should
really, really good.
probably.
And the soundtrack is amazing. The score's amazing. Cliff Martinez. I have it on vinyl. It's really good, but yeah, Drive is great, and I think basically Ryan Gosling is the same character in both movies, in Blade Runner and Drive. He kind of like, yeah, and I'm not knocking him, because I think he was perfect in both movies, but he kind of has this super stoic
guy.
Sociopathic, like I am going to run through everybody kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Drive is really good, and it's not what it was marketed as. It's this wonderful, it's kind of a love story. But I mean, there's a little car stuff, but I don't know. It's suspenseful. But anyways, that'll stay on my list. Where are we here? Cabin in the Woods, to me, is one of the best movies ever made. I loved it.
It's definitely one of the best horror genre movies ever made. Like,
yeah.
And again, it's kind of flipping the script, which is why I love it so much.
Speaking of marketing, or the lack thereof, like, I do think it was kind of a cop out that there was no marketing for this movie. You know, it was like Josh Whedon was like, I don't even want to tell you the name of the movie. There's a cabin in the woods, and that's all you need to know. So like, I think when you don't see the trailers, you don't go in with any expectations. I generally think it's a good idea not to watch trailers. But anyways,
yeah, I have no memory of seeing the trailers or anything for that movie.
Yeah, I don't think he had any, and he was at Comic-Con, and he's like, I can't take any questions about it, you know, because he was at Comic-Con for some other movie, and he's like, look, there's a cabin, it's in the woods, go see it, you're gonna love it.
He loves doing that crap though. Like,
yeah,
he loves like, I'll have this little mystery thing for people to figure out.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
it was worth it. It was worth it for that movie. It was great.
It was, yeah, it was like just, yeah, maybe I shouldn't say like one of the best movies ever made, but I think to me it's like one of the best like moments. Like when you watch that movie for the first time, you know, it's just like, what are we doing now? Like what is this? You know, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, and you get
the reveals,
and you get, as soon as you get in that control room with those guys, it's just like, oh, this is gonna be a fun movie.
So awesome, yeah. So awesome. I even love how like the title like pops on the screen. I don't know if you remember that, the way the title just kind of like jumped. Yeah, it's really good.
You just made me think, though. You know, mentioning J.J. Abrams, his fake series or connected universe movies, which are basically just them picking up other people's movies and rebranding them. Oh my God. Cloverfield, the Cloverfield universe. What year was the first Cloverfield movie? Because I didn't.
Cloverfield. 2008.
Okay, so that wouldn't make it. But the Cloverfield, was it something Cloverfield Lane?
Yeah.
Did you see that movie?
Directed by Dan Trachtenberg. Cloverfield Lane. Yeah, what's that movie called?
10 Cloverfield Lane, right?
Yeah, I did see that.
I liked that movie.
I loved it. I thought it was really good. That director. So his name's Dan Trachtenberg. He started off on a podcast.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he went to film school. He's a really funny guy, really smart. He made some short videos, or some short films. Did some commercial work. But he had this podcast called The Totally Rad Show with a couple other guys. And then he did like a short film as a fan of the there's a video game called Portal. You remember Portal?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
So he did a short film based on that video game, and it was really good. He must have spent all of his money on it, but it was really good. It was like 5 minutes long, and it was fun. But from his podcast and that popularity on YouTube of that kind of like fan homage to Portal, like he got picked up by Universal, and I think 10 Cloverfield was his first movie.
You know how that works, right? Like, it's classic J.J. Abrams. Like, he's making people think he has this big, mysterious plan, and all those movies are connected somehow. But really, they're just picking up, like, indie movies, and they're turning them into Cloverfield movies.
Yeah, that's, I think Die Hard, the Die Hard franchise is the exact same thing. There's so many movies. They get a lot of scripts, and they're like, oh, this is okay. But if we make this a Die Hard movie with John McClane, it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
and actually, I think you ever see Empire of the Sun? With Bruce Willis. That was supposed to be a Die Hard movie. It takes place in a jungle in Africa, somewhere, some country in Africa. And it was actually Bruce Willis that said, like, no, this could be a great movie on its own. Like, he fought for it to be its own thing. And it's actually a pretty good movie. But, yeah, it makes sense what you're saying. I didn't know JJ was doing that. But, yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane. I thought the Cloverfield, the original movie, had some moments in it. It was new. They were trying something new. But
no, it
10
was
Cloverfield
cool.
Lane's pretty good. It was cool.
I'm a little...
But that director, he went on to do a Black Mirror episode, which is probably one of the more twisted Black Mirror episodes. It was pretty
that's
good.
Saying something.
Yeah, no, he did Playtest. Did you watch all the Black Mirror ones?
No.
He did one called Playtest, which is just messed up, man. But it was good. But yeah, let's see here.
Boy, we
so wait, Cabin in the Woods.
Right.
How do you feel about Cabin in the Woods?
I'd get it on there. I mean, just because it's kind of it takes that whole genre and it's like a top of the list for those.
And it's one of the most fun movies to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Like when like I've recommended it to people, like, oh, you want to watch a horror movie? You should watch this. Well, what's it about? I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then you run into them. You know, you talk to them later, like, oh my god, that was awesome.
It does have a little bit of that Sixth Sense kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, but it kind of like it doesn't hinge on it though. Like the Sixth Sense and Usual Suspects, they're all dependent on the twist.
The twist, yeah.
Once you know the twist, like you don't really want to watch the movie again.
Right, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But Cabin in the Woods, I've seen like 6 times.
Yeah, it's fun.
You know?
It's a fun movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. So next on your list is Captain America. I mean, given what you said before about the MCU, should we just skip it?
We can.
Right? I mean,
I will say it's probably my preferred Captain America movie, but I'm still not too excited about it.
Yeah, no, that's good. I like the Captain America. I like the movies, and like that character kind of became the more central as the MCU progressed. Like Chris Evans and Captain America became like just as important as Iron Man does. Like it's, I don't know, but it's fine. I got you. I like how he's like this just super yoked Boy Scout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. They do a good job.
He's good for jokes.
Grand Budapest. So you and I, did you see Moonrise Kingdom?
No, I have not seen Moonrise Kingdom.
Okay, I'd be interested to know which one you liked more between the two. Did you like Grand Budapest?
Oh, I love Grand Budapest. But I prefer. I'll be honest. Like, I liked. Oh my god, so bad at this. The one on the train.
Oh, Darjeeling Limited.
Darjeeling Limited.
Love it.
I still
love that.
I love more, but I love Grand Budapest. So
I agree with you 100%. That's my favorite, and that's my favorite Wes Anderson film so far. I love, but that's the one that gets the most like hate. It's a lot of people's least favorite.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know, people my friends. You know, if you meet anybody who's, if you ask somebody like, do you like Wes Anderson? They're like, who's that? Or, oh my God, let me give you my,
right,
let me give you my, there's no in between.
Because I'm used to people.
So if you meet somebody who's into it,
I'm used to people who are into it talking about Royal Tenenbaums, and that might be my least favorite one.
Yeah, but they're all, to me, like, they're all great. It's
they're all great. I love Bottle Rocket.
They're all good. Bottle Rocket's great.
I fucking love Bottle Rocket, and that's like, because it was like his first one, right? It doesn't really get to.
Yeah, he didn't write it though. He wrote all the other ones. The Wilson brothers wrote Owen and Luke Wilson and their third brother, which I don't know, nobody knows his name, but he's also in it. But yeah, I think they wrote it and brought it to him or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I hear you. Like, I love Darjeeling Limited. It's so great. There's so much heart.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the little short film that came out before it? It was like there's like this little Easter egg on the internet.
No, I don't think
it's
so.
It's like a 15-minute short film of, it's like a prequel. It's like a 15-minute prequel to Darjeeling Limited, and you can still find it on the internet.
The brothers doing other stuff.
It's one brother in Paris, and it's his wife dumping him.
The writer.
And yeah. And it's like it's basically the days right before he meets up with his brothers and wherever they meet up at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's good. It doesn't really like it doesn't. It's not important. Like, obviously you don't need to see it to enjoy the Darjeeling Limited, but it adds a little like, oh, okay. It's cool. Okay, it's really cool.
Let me ask you this: have you ever had this phenomenon where you learn to love a movie? Like, I think I had to learn to love Life Aquatic.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because, like, it's probably the most reality bending and out there of those movies.
Mm-hmm. Life Aquatic, yeah, I didn't love it right away. Yeah, I guess it grew on me for sure. Yeah, it is kind of. Yeah, it's. yeah, I've never really tried to explain this or thought about it, but Life Aquatic to me is just kind of like this. Oh, okay, he came out with a movie, this year. Great, and it was funny. It has Bill Murray.
It's a Bill Murray being
weird. Yeah, but it was fine. It was good.
Because at first, like, some of the design elements and like how he's incorporating sort of like drawings and things into reality, and then there was that whole thing where they attacked that hotel. and so like the first time I think I watched that, I was just like, okay, they're just trying way too hard. But like now it's I'll watch it if it's on, like, because like Darjeeling Limited, if it's on, I will stop and watch it. Like that, or what's the other one? Oh, Big Lebowski. Like, yeah, all bets are off if I just wander upon Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
But now I can say that about Life Aquatic too.
Yeah, Life Aquatic is no, it's fun, but it's not the one I'm drawn to. It's actually the one I think like comes up the least if anybody's ever talking about Wes Anderson movies, But it's also the one that inspires Halloween costumes the most. But whatever.
You know that the guy that sings in it made a whole album. The Brazilian guy.
Yeah, Sue George.
Who's doing all the David Bowie songs, right?
They're all David Bowie.
Yeah, he has a whole album of those. It's so cool.
Yeah, I have it on vinyl, which is probably the most hipster thing I've ever done. Is by a Portuguese person covering David Bowie from Wes Anderson. You can only buy you can only buy that album from Wes Anderson from his site, or you have to find it in a record store. But he like owns that album.
That's so funny.
Like, which is smart of him.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's a good album. Let's see here, Grand Budapest. So, anyways, like, I love Grand Budapest. I think Wes Anderson should be represented on our list, on our shared list in some regards.
I didn't see Moonrise Kingdom, so I would just have to take your word for that.
It's really good, whether you like it better than Grand Budapest. I mean, it's, I think I like Moonrise Kingdom better than Grand Budapest. I think it's but you ask me tomorrow, I might say Grand Budapest is better than Moonrise Kingdom because it's hard to compare.
Okay.
But I will say, like, Grand Budapest Hotel is the most Wes Anderson can get. Like, he just took his Dollhouse theme and his rhythm and just like turned everything up to 11. But anyways, Guardians. Is Hateful Eight the last 10 years it's been Hateful Eight and Inglourious Basterds and Django from Quentin Tarantino. Is that right?
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right.
Those were in the last 10 years?
Yeah, I think so. Hateful Eight.
Okay, those need to go.
Django.
Those need to go on my list then, because
Django Unchained. Django Unchained 2012.
Okay.
And then,
that means like the list I was using as my reference left a lot of stuff off.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Inglourious Basterds is 2009.
Okay.
Are we counting 2009? No. Yeah. Okay.
Especially if I can be a little pedantic for a moment. This is not the start of a new decade. There is no year zero. This is the end of a decade.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And that's just me being a dork. But I can't help telling people that all the time.
If I can be pedantic to your big pedanticdism, I mean, technically any moment in time can be the start of a new decade.
Not in our Roman calendar.
Yeah, I mean, there's the problem with the calendar, and then there's just the concept of time. So,
okay,
time
is a construct, man.
The time and the clock are two different things. When you celebrate New Year's, you're just celebrating a clock. You're not celebrating an actual new year.
I know. I'm just saying that when big media keeps telling you over and over again that it's a new decade,
Yeah.
They're lying.
Okay, I'm with you.
Anyway,
Right.
anyway, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Man, I completely missed Django Unchained as being in this decade.
Django Unchained is great. The first time I saw it in the theater, I
think I like Hateful Eight more.
I do. I'm with you. If I had to choose, it's Hateful Eight. Is the better one, which is ironic because I didn't feel that way coming out of the theater.
Really?
You know? Yeah. I mean, I loved it. I was like, oh, that was great. That was great. Tarantino, like doing something else. That guy only does passion projects. He always takes risks. You have no idea what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
You know, I love it. The fact that he's even talking about doing a Star Trek movie is I hate that idea, and I hope he doesn't.
Well,
I just want him to do more him.
Apparently, I think it got killed.
Good.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want him to be constrained by like a franchise or I don't know.
Yeah, he shouldn't be doing other people. He shouldn't be playing other people's worlds. That's not how.
Yeah, I don't want. Nobody wants to hear Led Zeppelin cover the Beatles, right? I want Led Zeppelin to be Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Tarantino should be represented on our list.
Yeah. I didn't see the new one yet, so bad person.
It's fantastic. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hateful Eight might be better, but
so Hateful Eight, I mean, I think he really leaned into love of spaghetti westerns with Hateful Eight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, definitely there was some of that in Django Unchained, but he was still also kind of doing his normal, kind of, I don't know how you call it, but like Django Unchained felt more like some other Tarantino movies, and Hateful Eight felt more like this is me doing a spaghetti western.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and like you know, there's some beautiful cinematography and
so good.
the monologues. Oh my god, such good monologues.
Did you see it in 70 millimeter?
No,
in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I did at the Castro Theater in San Francisco,
That's
and there was even like an overture and intermission.
Oh.
Like it was old school.
That's awesome. Did
But
you
it
watch
was, it was really good.
Did you watch the Netflix re-edit where he made it into a little mini series?
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't.
It was okay.
It didn't feel necessary at all.
No, it was just, HBO did something like that with The Godfather a couple years ago, and they basically re-edited The Godfather in chronological order. Does that make sense? So you start
so you're not
with
dealing with like flashbacks or anything.
Yeah, you start with basically Vito Corleone like immigrating to America. That's how the movie opens. You know, and so it kind of felt like that. Like it was like, oh, let's try something else, and you know, but whatever. Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't need it. You know.
Yeah,
It kind of pissed me off. But what was I going to say? Hateful Eight's really good. The performances are amazing from everybody, and it was so suspenseful. It was, what do you call this kind of, like, it's almost like a phone booth? Is that what you call it? Or
you're talking about a bottle episode.
A bottle, like every
Yeah,
I mean, it was like something like that.
I guess if you could call the third act a bottle episode for sure.
Yeah. The fact that it's like this amazing character-driven story. It takes place in one setting for most of it, for the most part, right? And it was good. It was yeah. I really dug it. His newest movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think is fantastic as well, but I think it's been way overhyped. So like lower your expectations, and it's a very long. It's like a 2-hour act 1, and then a half-hour act 2 and 3.
Oh wow!
You know, it's just like these, you know,
a lot of build-up,
bunch of cool vignettes of, you know, cool people doing cool shit.
Yeah.
And then you don't really know where it's going, and then boom, everything happens all at once. But it's cool. It's just kind of like you just kind of let it wash over you. But it's good. But I think Hateful Eight maybe also like, yeah, it's up there. Did you like How to Train Your Dragon?
It was okay. So this list is literally, I was trying to list the movies I saw from the last 10 years, and obviously I missed some because my reference wasn't good, but I was like, oh yeah, I went and saw that movie. It was okay. I wouldn't put it on any list myself.
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of like, cinema nerds are like, oh, it's like one of the best animated movies of all time.
Really?
I liked it. I really liked it. I don't see. Yeah, it just. I watched it once, loved it, have no desire to see it again.
Yeah. It didn't.
That kind of thing.
It didn't shake me.
All right, so that's easy. Inception.
I love Inception.
You love Inception.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dylan would give it a 5.
Whoa.
It's still to this day. And he was pretty young when he saw it. It's still to this day, like, if you ask him what's your favorite movie, he would say Inception.
Really?
Yeah.
Inception is. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it being on the list, and I still watch it. I actually rewatched it not too long ago. I mean, just what was it? Nolan?
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan.
Uh-huh.
Man, what he brings to the table every time is just like he's taking these big swings every time, and for the most part, he nails it. Inception is just one of those things that was just like, the first time I saw it, I was like, is this movie like just poorly written, or am I too stupid to understand it? And I've seen it again several times, and every time I watch it, I do like it, and I'm able to understand it more. I just wish he would have. The ending, I just wish the ending was a little more. I wish he would have picked an ending.
Oh, really? You didn't like the leaving the audience wondering thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't need a happy ending. Obviously, I don't need everything to be wrapped up and put a bow on it.
Mm-hmm.
But to leave it like open ended, I understand. Like, I like Inception because it's like a big riddle. Right, and there's a ton of Easter eggs, and there's so much detail to it.
Right.
But Christopher Nolan movies are work. The Batman series, like you watch any of his movies, Memento, you are tired at the end of it. You are exhausted. Like they are work. And the fact that you watch Inception and you go through all this work and there's no like, at least for me, it wasn't the payoff I wanted. That's all. That's it. But that being said, like, I obviously recognize it's an amazing movie. Like, everybody loves talking about it. The hallway scene alone, where like the stacking the bodies and like, oh my god, man. Conceptually, it's great. So yeah, I'm good with it. I'm good.
For me, it was, and they're not supposed to be the same movie, but for me, it's the better Matrix.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I know they're very different in the background story or whatever, but
right,
they're kind of going at the same things. For me, it was more, it was a more interesting
one. Right. Well, Inception. Yeah, I could see that. Inception's like is the signs to Independence Day, right? Similar kind of concept, but just like a smaller approach to it, like a smaller cast of characters, a smaller story.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Inception to me is like, here's this concept, and we're going to spend 3 hours explaining it. And Matrix is like, hey, here's this concept. Cool, everybody got it. Now let's go have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they screwed that up, in my opinion, by making 2 more when they didn't need to. But anyway.
Yeah, that's where people yell at me because I love. To me, the Matrix movies only get better.
Really?
But I'm one of the few people who believe that. But we don't have to get into that right now.
I'm just like,
I think it's great.
When Superman flies away at the end of the first movie, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need anything else.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, that's definitely not in the last 10 years.
No. Interstellar?
Interstellar's funny because I feel like everyone really loved it when it came out, and now everyone acts like they hate it.
Yeah.
Which,
just like Avatar.
Yeah. Yeah, like I enjoyed it. I prefer Inception, but I liked Interstellar.
To me, so I didn't hate Interstellar, but I definitely didn't like it. I think it got a little overhyped too, because I was late seeing it. You know, I didn't see it until after it had left the theater. But everybody else I knew saw it. They're like, "Oh my god, it's amazing! You're gonna cry!" Blah blah. I was like, "All right, cool, whatever." And I saw it, and I was like, "Yeah, it's okay." And, I didn't dig it. And then what really helped solidify my opinion about Interstellar is that I saw Arrival, and I was like, Arrival does in half the amount of time and with half the budget what Interstellar tried to do. To me, it's more or less the same story.
That's a good
and I love Arrival.
That's a good comparison. In fairness, Arrival, the aliens came to us, so it could take half as long.
Yeah, that's true.
But
that's true. But like how it played with time and like language and linguistics and like that whole thing, I love Arrival. But
yeah, no,
not that I'm.
They're trying to do different like they're similar feeling movies, but they're trying to do a little bit different things, right? Like,
yeah,
they're talking about language and I don't know.
Yeah, but they both deal with like, hey, humanity's going to take a turn for the worse unless you crack this code and figure this out.
Yeah.
From
for
this
sure,
thing, but
yeah.
whatever. I don't think it's fair to like have to choose between the two. I don't, like I said, I'm lukewarm about Interstellar. I love Arrival. If I had to choose one that goes on the list, it would be Arrival.
Oh no, I don't want to put Interstellar on a top 25 list. No way. No.
What about Arrival?
Arrival I'd put on there, yeah.
Cool. We're doing it.
But that just made me think of another movie I may not have made on my list. Oh, this is driving me nuts. No, it's there. We just skipped it.
Yeah, we started in a weird spot.
We didn't talk about Annihilation.
Love Annihilation.
Yeah.
It is weird, like. Okay, so didn't
I feel like Arrival's more of a big idea movie than Annihilation is. Even though Annihilation has it.
Man.
I think Annihilation.
Really?
Yeah, because I think Annihilation has. It has the aliens and the weirdness going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the whole. I guess it has the thing at the end where the people that are just. Whatever they are, copies or whatever you want to call them. But.
Right.
Arrival's more like. Big humanity. Annihilation's more of like a science fiction movie kind of to me. I don't know how to explain that, but I think Arrival's a more important movie.
I agree. Yeah, I hear you. Did you see Ex Machina?
I did not.
Same director as Annihilation. I don't know. Both are really well done. Both are really heavy. I'd probably lean towards Ex Machina if I had to choose one of the two, but I really loved Annihilation. Yeah, I thought it was great. It makes you feel like you're on mushrooms when you're not on mushrooms when you watch it. It's crazy.
No, it is.
Not that I know what that's like.
That is a really good movie. I love it. But if you were gonna like put one science fiction movie that starts with the letter A on this list, I would put Arrival.
Okay, I'm with you. So, just going down the list, one of my favorite surprise hits of the last few years is John Wick.
Oh yeah.
how do you rank them? You know, like, did you watch all three? Have you seen all three?
Mm-hmm. I would rank them in the order of their release.
Yeah.
Although John Wick 2 does have the amazing sort of Empire Strikes Back ending, where it's like, holy shit, this is bad kind of ending.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, you know, the first John Wick, I've watched that movie, I don't know, I've probably watched it like 15 times. Like, I really like that movie.
Yeah, I'm. Oh, you gave it a 5. My bad. Yeah, that's gonna go on the list. I love John, and I'm fine with it kind of representing the entire franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's just good. I actually just watched Parabellum last night for the first time.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't seen it yet. But yeah, I love it, and it's like, you know, it did benefit from kind of being an unknown, like, but yeah, I thought it was great. Keanu Reeves' stock has gone way up, and all that training he did for it, and it's good. It's great.
Yeah, John Wick is the reason there's going to be another Bill and Ted's movie.
Yeah, basically. Did you ever see a movie called The Raid? Independent film.
Is that the werewolf movie?
No.
Oh, that was Dog Soldiers. I don't think so.
The Raid is basically, if it wasn't for The Raid, there would be no John Wick in movies in the way that they're made. In fact, some people from The Raid are in Parabellum.
Oh, yeah?
Just because the way they do action, like The Raid came out, it's like this independent film. Let me see if I can pull up. It's an independent film, and it's just like over the top action, but the choreography and the pacing of it all. Yeah, The Raid Redemption, 2011, from Indonesia. Those characters or those actors are in John Wick Parabellum.
Oh, are they the two like Southeast Asian bad guys in the third movie?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think so. and even The Raid, kind of how it's structured, how the story is structured, is very much in line with Parabellum. How basically like it all takes place in one building, and he's got to like whatever. It's really good. It's a little over the top action stuff. Like it's one of those movies you're exhausted at the end of it, but like it's amazing.
Did you ever see Hard Boiled?
No.
Because Hard Boiled, there was this whole shtick, I guess it was in the 90s, that of these Chinese gun movies. And Hard Boiled was like one of the big ones, that one I actually saw. And the movie is like almost all a gunfight in a hospital.
Oh, really?
And it's just over the top, you know, you're just like,
1992.
how do they still have bullets? You know, it's just like, it's crazy. It's a crazy movie, but it was cool. I remember watching that intoxicated. But anyway.
Yeah. The Raid's really good. On Box really good. But as me, like most action sequences, just like I said before, my eyes just kind of glaze over and I just wait till it's done. So right. I shouldn't like The Raid, you know, but The Raid's fantastic.
Well, a lot of like, yeah, I mean, part of it is just because there's been so much of it, you know, we're all kind of been there, done that. You know, but part of it is it gets real formulaic, and that's what's nice about John Wick. It felt different, you know.
Right.
It was awesome, but also the pacing of the movie was great, and the genre. You know, they were kind of doing a crime action thing, but they're putting their own spin on it, you know, and they didn't try to It had a lot of weird stuff, like with the hotel and the Russian mob and all that stuff. They could have easily just like given us way too much exposition, or you know, it could have just gotten boring. There could have been a lot of downbeat kind of scenes, and there weren't any.
Right.
And like, I really appreciate that.
Oh, I completely agree. Like that's the best part about the John Wick movies. It's like this world the secret world that you're introduced to.
Right, and
but it just hints at it. Like, it's like, oh, here's all these different layers.
Yeah, they're not going to explain
and
that
that's
shit to you. Like, yes,
Yeah.
the whole network is run by 1940s operator ladies with crazy tattoos, but you don't need to know why.
Yeah, you don't need to know. Yeah, totally. And that's how you should manage a story like that too.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need everything explained. We just, whatever.
Yeah, makes it more fun.
It's really thoughtful without over explaining it.
Yeah.
The same way, and it's just like, whatever. Cool. Did I put it on there? John Wick? Yeah, I did. All right.
Yeah, I literally have I think 3 5s, and so those are the only ones I'm really gonna fight for.
Well, should we just go to your next 5? Oh, wait a minute. Logan, Logan's a 3. I really like Logan. I don't know if it's in my top 25, but
No, it would.
that's an example of like that's like something where it's like, I wish Marvel would go more in that direction, But I like Logan. But.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it, but even it really frustrated me. I feel like I was supposed to like it more because it theoretically would hit what I'm looking for. Like, when I talk about Guardians of the Galaxy or Thor Ragnarok, okay, it's a superhero thing, but they're coming at it from a different angle, and it has a different feel, So I feel like I should have liked it more than I did, and I just didn't. I don't know. It didn't do much for me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people went in expecting a Wolverine movie, but they didn't realize the title was called Logan and not Wolverine.
Right.
And it's just him. It's like the human part of him, right?
Yeah.
And it's a smaller story, It's him and Patrick Stewart, and like, I just love that relationship. Really kind of like comes to a wonderful conclusion, or you kind of get to, there's adds a whole nother dimension to their story together. But yeah, it's not. Again, I love the movie, but I just never need to see it again.
Yeah, and I also couldn't like. It felt kind of like the new Joker movie to me, in that like it's. I was kind of like. We made this, but we don't really care. Like, we don't know if it's in context with any of the other stuff that character and the actor playing him did. Like, it was a weird movie in that way. Like, I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah,
I'm kind of surprised it got made, to be honest with you.
Did you see the Joker?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I'd like to see it. It's winning all these awards, but I haven't seen it. I know it's supposed to be like Todd Phillips wanted to basically remake Taxi Driver. That's his, and
Right,
that's his
that's
thing. I haven't seen it
De
yet. But yeah,
Niro's
I see
in
what
it.
you're saying. It's like these little, vignettes, right? And it's, or they're just, it's just like this character studies, these individual character studies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lego movie? Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was
Right,
funny.
moving on.
It made me laugh more than How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, there you go. Mad Max, Fury Road.
That is a really, really good movie.
I hated it. I'm just kidding. I loved it. It was great.
Like that.
That's a good. I mean, that's a good example of like, here's just like this crazy action story, but I mean, yeah, it is just kind of this action chase scene, but it's so well done. It showed us something new, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
And again, it's another one where they're not going to hold your hand and tell you anything about anything. It's just, here it goes,
Yeah.
And everything, it looked amazing. The acting, although I guess you could argue there wasn't a lot of requirements for acting, I don't know. But I thought it was all great.
Yeah. Wasn't Charlize Theron like the main? Yeah, gosh, she picks really good projects.
Yeah.
She doesn't do a lot of movies, but when she does them, like, they're pretty intense.
No, it was,
But I didn't. Atomic Bomb or Atomic Blonde or whatever that was called. That was okay.
didn't see
But
that.
anyways, that's obviously not on your ever list. Midsommar, I didn't see it.
Oh,
Heard it's good.
Good.
You gave it a 4.
Yeah.
I see you. I see it. I see it. Muppets. I really like Scott Pilgrim.
I did too.
How do you? Yeah.
But it's not one. I never stop and think I need to watch that again. So
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I was just about to say, like, I tried to watch it again. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I clicked out of it pretty quickly. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go make some coffee.
Wait, dang it! I think I just remembered another movie.
What is it? You can put it on there.
Goon. God damn it!
Oh, I haven't seen it. Sorry, man.
So the drummer from Scott Pilgrim, is the love interest in Goon. And so whenever I think of Scott Pilgrim, I just think of Goon because it's a better movie for me.
Yeah, what is she? She's in a lot of stuff. She was in Newsroom. She's a good actress. Skyfall. I didn't see it.
You didn't see Skyfall?
Is that a Bond movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't do Bond anymore.
So here's my thing. Like, as a movie, I give it a 3. But as a Bond movie, I would give it a 5.
Yeah.
It's a really good Bond movie.
Here's my thing. Like, I have no doubt I've seen it. I just can't tell you which one it is. You know?
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
Like, where are they? Like, what goes on in it?
It's the one where he has to protect, what's her name? M, and they're hiding out in that cottage in Scotland.
Ooh, that is a good one.
Yeah.
That is a really good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I thought that was cool. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, but whatever.
But yeah, Bond movies are like, eventually they're going to stop making them, right? I mean, it's kind of like,
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah.
Star Wars. So
we kind of had that discussion already.
Yeah, we got that out of the way. Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok, I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Directed by the other 5 on the guy who directed the other 5 on my list.
Right. Toy Story 3.
It was good. But again, it's not a movie I need to see again.
I loved Toy Story 3. I really did.
But maybe it's because it's animation. I don't know.
You got a problem with the with the drawings, huh?
I'm just like, maybe as I get older, animated stuff doesn't move me as much. I don't know what it is, but like
it happens when you're dead inside.
Yeah,
that's pretty common.
Okay, cool.
But you gave it a 4.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. But I don't fanboy on it. I don't,
Okay.
It's weird. But you can put it on the list. If we're gonna put like the best animated movie, maybe that's the one we need to put on the list.
Yeah, we should have some kind of animated representation on here.
Yeah.
You're gonna hate me. What We Do in the Shadows. I haven't seen it.
Really?
Everybody loves it. Everybody tells me to see it. I haven't seen it.
I have it on iTunes. You should drive here and watch it.
In fact,
do me a favor. Do not watch the FX series until you watch the movie.
I already have.
Oh.
I've only seen it. I saw a few episodes at Mom's house.
Oh, god damn
it. Sorry. Is that kind of a... I don't remember much. I don't remember characters' names or details. I kind of got the dynamic. I definitely laughed.
They're different characters, and it's a different setting, but it's the same premise.
Okay. I definitely laughed. Like, I get it, but it seems like something I would like.
No, the TV series is good. I'm looking forward to the next season, but, the movie is just so good.
Okay.
I laughed so hard watching that movie.
Building this list is going pretty well because we're at 13 and we're almost through your list. And if we don't get to 25, I actually think that's okay. I think that says something that I watch too many movies. I don't watch the right
ones.
we
should probably go back over some of yours.
Yeah, just to make sure you haven't seen them. But okay, so honestly, man, the rest of your list,
Uh-huh.
Oh, I've seen 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so The Witch, World's End. I've seen the John Wicks, but do you want more than one John Wick on our list?
No. Too bad you haven't seen Knives Out. I think you'd probably put it on the list.
Yeah, I think I would too.
You haven't seen The Witch or World's End?
Nope.
Oh.
Or Battle Angel.
Oh.
I'll.
Alita Battle Angel was not that good, so you're fine.
Okay. Oh, it's a 2. Rogue One, I really like. Do you like it enough to put it on the list? It is on our list. It's on that.
I would put it on.
Never mind. Solo, no. Cloverfield Lane, I liked it. I dug it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not a very big movie. Not that should really matter, but
right. I thought it was good. I mean, John Goodman, man, like I like him. I don't know, maybe it's because Mom watched Roseanne religiously growing up, but like I love John Goodman. Anything he's in.
Did you see that? Did you see that Alien movie he did? Was it last year or the year before?
Mm-mm.
I wanted to see it, and then I saw the reviews, and I talked myself out of it. I can't remember what it's called, but the premise sounded really cool. It was like after aliens had conquered the world, and they have a bunch of intermediaries who kind of human bureaucrats who kind of keep control on things, and John Goodman is one of them. And the aliens are like some mysterious, I don't know what they end up being because I didn't see it, but they are the Senate. Like they take over the Senate basically. And it just sounded really cool, but it got terrible reviews, and I was like, damn it.
That's too bad. I want John Goodman to have like wins. Mm-hmm. Like I want him to do really well. Yeah. But no.
You didn't see The World's End, huh? You're not a Cornetto trilogy guy?
I have no idea what you just said. But
the Cornetto trilogy is
oh wait, I did see that.
The zombie movie, yeah. Oh my god. Now I'm blanking on that too.
Simon Pegg
movies, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. The World's End. Yeah, I looked it up before we started doing this. I was going through your list. I just can't remember.
It's Hot Fuzz is the second movie. The first movie is the zombie one. Its name I can't remember right now. And The World's End is the third one. And together they're called the Cornetto trilogy because they just happen to have their Cornetto ice creams in all the movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because they're all made by the same guy, the same director.
Yeah, but what about the one where like the boarding school one? Where Simon Pegg's a teacher. I'm getting the two of them confused.
No, I don't know what that is. That's something else.
Yeah, I like World's End.
I like World's End.
Honestly, I'm getting the two of those things confused.
World's End is the one where the washed up dude convinces his old high school buddies to get together for a pub crawl.
Right.
And so they go back to their old hometown, and most of the people have been replaced by alien robots.
Right.
And so that one is supposed to be like a riff on body snatcher type movies.
Uh-huh.
Hot Fuzz is supposed to be a riff on like, old like 70s thriller cop movies and stuff. And then the zombie one obviously is zombie movies.
Yeah, got you. Yeah, I liked it. I didn't love it, but for the sake, we'll keep that. We'll keep that here just in case we need to round it out. 10 Cloverfield, Django. I would gladly put Django on our list. I just don't know how you feel about having Tarantino on there twice.
Yeah, we'll circle back around.
Okay, and I haven't seen Goon. So let's go through my.
But you haven't seen
what?
You haven't seen Goon?
I haven't seen Goon. Yeah, I said that earlier. No, I haven't seen Goon.
So you just need to come here and watch a lot of movies, apparently.
Please, like I don't do that here at my house.
I know, but these are good
Goon.
movies. Huh?
Oh no, the hockey one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you You had me watch this movie. I think I watched this at your
You
house.
probably did because I love that movie.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
It was hysterical.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You know what, man? I'll put that in there. I'm okay. I feel good about that one. That was like another surprise hit.
Yeah.
It's funny for what it, for what it's trying to do.
The sequel was
Did a good job.
entertaining, but not nearly as good.
Okay. Okay, so right now we're at
13.
13, yeah. So let me just make sure you haven't seen some of these movies that I love.
Yeah, I was saying, let me look at your list.
Have you seen? So there's two columns. There's the films that I've seen, and then there's movies I actually liked.
Attack the Block is a movie I need to see.
Oh my god, it would be if you saw it. I think that's on my list.
Dunkirk's another one I need to see. What's the parentheses 2 for?
Oh, I copied and pasted it from somebody else's list.
Okay.
So those numbers don't matter.
Did
you see? Go ahead.
I was going to say Edge of Tomorrow is one that I had no desire to see.
You haven't seen Edge of Tomorrow?
I'm officially like Tom Cruise is in it. Okay, kind of person.
Dude, now. You're missing out, man. You are missing out. I'm not gonna try it. It's really, really good, and of all of his movies, he's the least Tom Cruise like in this one.
Okay.
He's a coward.
Yeah.
He's not like this badass. He's like this whatever. It's very good.
Uh-huh.
And see it, don't see it, but just don't let anybody tell you the story, because it's kind of like that's part of the fun.
I know the whole shtick of him living his life over and over again.
Oh, okay.
That's been spoiled for me, but yeah.
Okay, well, never mind. I think it's good. I love it. Did you see Game Night?
No. What is that one?
It's a comedy. We don't have a lot of comedies on our list. With I always mess up his name. Doopy-doopy-doo. Jason Bateman, 2018. Whoa. Yeah, Jason Bateman, Rachel McAdams, Kyle Chandler. Basically, they go over to somebody's house to have a fun, board game night, because that's what they're into, and then it goes terribly. Like one of them, it turns into like a whodunit, like, oh, guess who the killer is? But then in actuality, like, somebody gets murdered and kidnapped, but they don't know that it's not a game.
Oh, that sounds
hilarity.
Cool. I love Jason Bateman.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
I just saw one on your list that I didn't realize was in the last 10 years that I would be happy to put on the top 25.
What?
True Grit.
Oh, yeah, we don't have any Coen brothers on there. Where is...
I mean, it's a great movie, but literally the dialogue alone could get it on the list for me.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I love that movie. What's that actress's name that... I can't believe she pulled that off.
I don't know. She did a great job.
And did she win for Best Actress? I know she was definitely nominated.
I don't think so.
Yeah, she killed it.
Your list makes me sad because there's a lot of critically acclaimed films on here that I have not seen.
My list makes me sad. I've spent way too much time watching this stuff.
So many of these I want to see that I just didn't.
Long Shot, I think, is like one of the best comedies of the last 10 years, and nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
Again, with Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen. So good. What are we doing here? Guardians. Nightcrawler? No? Haven't seen it?
I didn't see that either.
Social Network?
So, wait. Did you pay to see all 3 of these Mission Impossible movies?
No. They show up on Netflix or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Like, holy cow.
No. I do like, I do enjoy them, though, for what they are. You know what I mean? Like, I do, and say what you want about Tom Cruise. I mean, that guy, like, he does most of his own stunts and everything.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I know.
I know he's he's kind of a tool, but like if you pull up his catalog of work, man, like he's got so many good hits.
So are you interested in the new Top Gun movie then?
I don't know. No, but I watched a little thing on how they're filming it, and in the cockpit of one of these fighters, they have like 6 IMAX cameras.
Yeah, I heard it was all actual fighter stuff and not crazy CGI or whatever.
So just on that kind of like cinematic experience level, I'm interested in seeing it, and that's where movies are going for the theater. Like, they have to be like these crazy, edgy, controversial concepts, like Jojo Rabbit or Knives Out. You know, like this. You have to see this now before somebody ruins it for you, kind of story.
Yeah.
Or it has to be like this technical, like this will, like Avatar was, like this will be lost on the small screen. You have to see it.
Yeah.
And that's not me. Like I read something recently that said like that's where movies are going to go. They're either going to go controversial or like heavy with the reveals or some kind of bigger than life
big event
experience. Yeah.
Did you see
Jojo
Rabbit?
They're dying. No, not yet.
Yeah,
I really want to see it.
Me too.
I haven't seen it. Let's see here. You sounded so disappointed when you asked me, like, did you pay to see all these Mission Impossible movies?
Yeah, because I feel like they're kind of the. In fairness, I have only saw like the first 2, so those are the really old ones, I guess.
Yeah.
So like, but to me, it's just like those are kind of just like the definition of just a typical Hollywood action movie. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're right. To me, like the way I feel the same way about the Bond movies. That like, okay, like, yeah, I like some of them. I can't tell them apart though.
Yeah,
you know, and they're all hitting the same note.
Yeah,
but anyways, there's a lot. Wolf of Wall Street. You haven't seen?
No. There's a lot of critically acclaimed films on here I haven't seen. I'm a bad person.
If I were to if all on this if there's one movie on this list I would ask you to see, it would probably be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Really?
I love that movie.
Well, I can watch that right now. I have the stream.
Dude, it's so good.
Yeah.
And you know how I was saying that like Arrival does what Interstellar tried to do?
Uh-huh.
I think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse achieves what Black Panther tried to do, and like it kind of has a cool message. Like it's also, I think it's an important movie, but it just does such a better job of delivering the story and like kind of the overall theme and idea behind it. And it's fun and it's funny.
And they really play with stuff in that too, don't they? Like change up how it's animated and everything.
Yeah. And it feels like comic book illustrators did it. The way it's drawn, and yeah, it's great. Soundtrack's great. All of it. I just loved it. I cried.
Well, you should put it on the list.
It's good. I saw that in the theater.
You should
too.
put it on the list. Yeah, you should. Because otherwise we're not going to get to 25.
Yeah, if we don't get to 25, I'm okay with that. Because it's okay. Let me see here. Doop-a-doo. Fighter. I love Black Swan. I think it's one of the greatest movies ever made. But
really?
Yeah, I love it.
Wow.
It's incredible. But you should watch it, and we'll talk afterwards, because some things that go down in that movie like mimic what happens in real life with Natalie Portman.
Okay.
And not in a bad way, but it's good.
Did you see
it? It's really good.
Did you see Get Out?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, me neither. God damn it.
I'm a terrible person.
I am too. I haven't seen Get Out or Us.
I haven't seen that either. Midnight in Paris, Argo are really good. Argo is one of those movies where it's starring Ben Affleck, which a lot of people just immediately write it off.
Yeah. But
I mean, the movies that he writes and directs and all that stuff, Argo, The Town, and I'm forgetting another one. They're fantastic. but I don't know if it's my favorite. But they're really good.
Did you,
Midnight in Paris just makes you want to move to Paris.
how about
It's a lot of fun.
the new It movie? Did you see that?
Mm-mm. No, I haven't seen it.
I didn't really care. Like, people got really worked up about it, and I was like,
Yeah, I don't need to see it. Really, clowns. Django, American Hustle. Her. Birdman.
no,
American Sniper. It's weird having that on my list because I shouldn't like it.
you shouldn't like it?
Well, I mean, just kind of the fan base that really championed it. It's kind of like
raw,
this.
raw kind of.
Yeah, but it's just, I mean, it's a sad story, man. That what happened to this guy. I mean, what he did is sad, and then what happened to him is super sad. Anyway, Boyhood. Do you know about Boyhood?
Mm-mm.
God, what's his name? Jared Linkletter has been filming Boyhood over the last 19 years or something like that. 15 years with the same actors, and you kind of like they film every couple years, and then he finally brought it all together. It's kind of like an achievement in and of itself. It's not the most entertaining movie to watch, but it's good. It's really, really good. You literally grow up with these people.
That is a cool idea.
Yeah, it's good. I was dragged to go see it, and I'm glad I saw it. But it's one of those movies that I don't need to see it again. Imitation Game's great. Spotlight I really liked. I'm a sucker for any kind of newspaper, like journalism, like kind of procedural show movie.
So
Big Short, I think, is a movie everybody should see.
Okay.
Just for the education of how this is how things work in this weird world. But it's also funny.
Did you see? Okay, I was just. I'm going back through the years now because I'm confident I've missed all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The last Harry Potter, or Deathly Hallows Part 1, was in 2010.
Okay.
So, I mean, how do you feel about the Harry Potter movies?
I love the first one, the Deathly Hallows. As that story progressed, I liked how they got darker and grittier. They didn't really pull many punches, even though it's ostensibly like a kids story. It's really popular kids. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked it. It kind of suffers from you have to remind yourself of what's going on in the story.
Yeah.
But I liked it. Are the Deathly Hallows considered one and two different movies?
Yeah, it was Part 1 was 2010, Part 2 was 2011. Wow, 1.3 billion.
No.
While you're away, I found three more series that had movies in the last 10 years that I didn't really care for any of them, but I was curious what you thought. So the Dark Knight Rises was in 2012.
Forgot about that.
Which this is me with superhero movies again. Apparently, I did not get excited about it the way everybody else did.
Was that the most recent Dark Knight?
I think so. Yeah.
Because the one with Heath Ledger, I think, is incredible.
Well, it's not the one.
But
it's the one with Heath Ledger. It's not the one with the Bane guy or whatever he is.
So the Heath Ledger one is 2012?
I think so. Let me double check real quick.
Oh, I love that movie. But
But
apparently that makes one of us.
Really? You're not going to give me a plot here? Come on. Oh, no. Neutron Bomb? Is that the Bane one? No, that is the the Bane one. Never mind.
Boo. Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Anyway. No, I didn't like the other one that much either.
Ugh,
I liked the Joker, but
right.
but I hate what's his face's Batman. hate him as Batman. Hate him as Batman.
Okay.
Henry Cavill as The Witcher is a better Batman than Batman.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, and the whole the whole storyline with Two-Face did not even need to be in that movie.
Yeah, it didn't really pay off.
Didn't mean anything.
It was okay, but yeah, I hear you.
Anyway, then The Hobbit was 2012, and I think the Hobbit movies was when Peter
Jackson.
I was about to say Peter Gabriel. Peter Jackson, I don't know, lost his mind or something, because I did not like those movies.
Yeah, I didn't really care for him, and it was like Guillermo del Toro was supposed to do him.
Yeah,
and then he
backed out because he backs out of everything.
Yeah, and I don't know, I didn't really. Who's the guy that played a young Bilbo? What's his name? Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman, who I love. I love Martin Freeman.
I thought he did a great job, and I love everything he does.
Oh,
but
yeah,
the movie itself, it's like, eh.
There were great performances, but the movies are bleh.
I didn't think Cumberbatch needed to be the voice of the dragon. I don't understand what that brought to the table. I also don't. I'm kind of anti. This is a bit of a tangent, but I don't understand the point of having celebrities also be voiceovers. Voiceover actors. Like, I don't. Is it just so you can be like, oh, do you know that's blah blah blah? If that's all it is, then I don't get it.
That didn't bother me. But, I thought that didn't take here or there for me, but yeah, they were just really kind of like gaudy and kind of like the new Star Wars movie, that like a lot of excess and dumb scenes and.
Yeah, they broke into song, which I didn't like that. In the books.
That's a Hobbit thing, so.
Yeah. I didn't like that in the books. I didn't like it in the movies, but I'm glad it wasn't in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
For the most part, there is one in the extended version. There's one.
Yeah.
Musical number. But hey, going back to Harry Potter, I do think maybe it should be on the list, because that whole series wrapping up is kind of a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
Put it on there. Like, it was really big deal for Dylan and Lindsay, like less so for me, but I enjoyed those movies.
I'll just put Deathly Hallows.
Yeah.
And that can be representative of.
And then movies that I completely missed, I don't know if you did or not, were those Hunger Games movies.
They are not good.
Yeah.
It's the nicest thing I could say.
I had no interest. Thor.
Yeah, not great.
Let's see. Iron Man 3 was the worst Iron Man movie, probably.
Okay. Yeah.
But probably shouldn't dwell on bad movies right now, right?
Well, it's not that. It's just like those Marvel movies, Star Wars. Like there's some.
Oh, Winter Soldier was a good movie. I liked.
Oh, look at you!
I liked.
Look at you!
I liked
coming around.
I did like Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier is fantastic. Yeah. I love it,
and it's a lot different than a lot of the Marvel movies. So yeah, there you go.
It is.
There you go.
You want to put it on the list?
Yeah, we can. Sure.
That means we have Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor Ragnarok, and Winter Soldier. You feel good about that?
Yeah. I hate the Furious movies. Just gonna put that in there.
I don't think I stopped watching after like 2 or something.
Yeah, same.
But I will say that, was it Hobbs and Shaw? I haven't seen the movie, but the trailers are incredible.
Yeah.
The trailers are little movies. They're so good. They're funny too. But I didn't need to see the actual movie. I'm like, yeah, good. I got my joy. Thanks.
James Bond Spectre was okay, but it wasn't.
If you say so.
Wasn't good. Anyway, I'm just going.
I just think
year by year here.
Yeah, I hear you. I think that just seems like the Mission Impossibles and the James Bonds, they're just retreading old tires.
Oh, they totally are. They totally are.
It's like, ugh.
But I always feel like
forward.
Yeah, James Bond's always going to have this little like kind of cool factor edge over Mission Impossible in my brain. But yeah, they are totally just retreading. Oh, Zootopia was an okay animated movie.
Yeah, it was okay. It's funny.
Oh, how'd you feel about Deadpool? Deadpool's a good movie.
Oh, Deadpool is really good. And that was it was really refreshing too.
Yeah, that was 2016.
Let's put that on there. Deadpool.
That was a good movie. Didn't see Suicide Squad.
It's okay. I'm actually really curious to see how the Harley Quinn solo movie is going to turn out.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good. It's a really interesting character.
Yeah.
I think.
You know what movie I kind of wish I'd superhero movie I wish I'd seen that I didn't was Wonder Woman. I heard it was pretty good.
It's good.
The trailer for the new one. Have you seen the trailer for the new one?
Oh, so great.
It looks awesome.
It's all in the 80s. Oh,
yeah.
It looks so good.
And she literally rides lightning. It's like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Which is kind of like when did Wonder Woman come out in the 80s? You know, it just seems like a natural fit.
Well, yeah.
And I like how they're just like jumping around. They're like, like what was she up to in the 80s? Let's do a movie about that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because then they don't have to worry about all the bullshit, arc of the huge epic story crap.
Yeah.
Oh boy, you want to ever make Dylan have spasms of anger? Mention the Minions movie. That's hilarious. Didn't see the new Jurassic World thing.
I'm not missing out.
Yeah, I didn't like the original Jurassic Park, so. Yeah.
You don't like the original Jurassic Park?
No.
What? Are you serious?
Unless there's a hidden director's edit where the children get eaten. No.
Oh. Yeah, they do pull punches.
It's a Spielberg movie.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah, all right. Okay. But come on, man. Like, that holds up today. Oh, okay. We'll talk. Yeah, I love that movie. Out of all the
boy, there were a lot of movies in the last couple of years that I didn't see. A lot of big movies.
If you go through, in preparing for this, I went through the Wikipedia page of Oscar Best Picture nominated and won. Like 2014 and 15, it was an amazing time for movies. I didn't realize it.
Huh.
But let me see if I can pull it back up. Oscar picture.
There's that whole other cycle of Harry Potter world movies, those Fantastic Beasts that I know nothing about.
Yeah. It's pretty good. They're fun. They're doing a good job at not over-explaining too much, but they're kind of fall into the same trap as the Star Wars thing where it's just like, let's insert Dumbledore as often as we can because everybody loves Dumbledore, right?
You got to tie it to this somehow.
Yeah. And it's like a young Dumbledore played by Jude Law.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, 2014 and 15, like, it's just these amazing Birdman, American Sniper, Boyhood, Grand Budapest Hotel, Imitation Game, Selma, The Theory of Everything, and Whiplash were all 1 year. And Birdman won. But yeah, it just made me realize, like, man, that was a really good year for movies. From your, let's see, what? Guardians of the Galaxy, Hateful Eight. I'm trying to see if there's a 5 of yours that I haven't seen.
You said
What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
So if you feel that strongly, I think that should go on our list since we clearly have the room.
Yes, I think so.
All right, so we'll just do. Actually, I'll put it down here. And I would like to come up, like maybe share this list somehow whenever we publish all this.
Yeah.
What else? You got some 4s. The Witch. Haven't seen.
I really like The Witch, but it's not like groundbreaking or anything.
You think Knives Out? Like.
Oh, I would put Knives Out on there.
Okay, I'll put that on there.
Because it's its own, like, there's nothing else on here in that genre, and it's really good.
Yeah. Django. You know, we can put Annihilation on here. There's room.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
I feel good. I love that movie. I feel good about it. Did you ever see that Netflix movie, or maybe it was a series, called Maniac with Jonah Hill?
No.
Oh, never mind. Well, there is a link to Annihilation in it, but I'll have to tell you later.
Like an actual link or like a reference?
Not a link, not a narrative link, but the person, you remember at the end of Annihilation when there's like the doppelganger kind of dance, modern dance sequence.
Mm-hmm.
The person as the doppelganger is like this really cool character, this really cool actress in that show Maniac. That's all. I don't know her name. I should probably do a better job and look that up. But it'll surprise you. And it's also in she's also in Ex Machina, but you haven't seen that either.
Wait, the character is?
Yeah, so there's a person in a suit in Annihilation doing that dance.
Okay.
But that person who's in that suit is a real actress.
Right.
Who's in Ex Machina.
Oh, okay.
As kind of like a side character.
I thought you were saying that doppelganger like character was in those shows. Like, whoa, no, that's a real holy crap.
No. But yeah, no. I should probably pull up her name just so I can get this right.
So we have like 4 more.
Sonia Mitsuno? I don't know. I can't pronounce her name. Yeah, who knew coming down with 20... Just having enough movies, 25 movies would be a challenge here. But it's okay.
What year did 310 to Yuma come up? Oh, 2007. That's another fantastic Western remake.
Mm-hmm. And nobody really talks about anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think we. I honestly, I don't think we get there because I've gone through and tried to make sure I've covered my bases and saw a bunch of movies. Let's see if I could, of the movies on my list that you haven't seen, if I could put a couple in there. How many do we have left? So I put Into the Spider-Verse, What We Do in the Shadows, Knives Out. There's so we got 3 more. So I'll do one more, and then we both get one after that. How about that?
Okay.
That makes sense. Man, this is gonna be tough.
Oh, I'm gonna look at all my. Oh, okay. Have you seen The Void?
No, I don't think so.
All right, I wouldn't put it on the list, but it's a very good horror movie. That was 2017. Slow West was 20. Oh, Slow West is good. Did you see Slow West?
No, I didn't.
Slow West is weird because it's a foreign-made Western, but it was shot in the United States. It's really it's a good movie. It has that actor that's in he plays the Vision in Avengers.
Oh, he's so good. He was the Unabomber in Manhunt.
Yeah, he's the protagonist in it. It's really really good movie.
What's his name? He's another one who's kind of like he's always been around.
Mm-hmm. He's in Prometheus too.
Who's he in Prometheus?
Holy shit! What year was Prometheus?
Who is he? You're thinking of Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, Michael Fassbender.
No, he's not. He's not Vision.
He's not?
No, Vision is similar though. Like I kind of see the similarities.
Well, Michael Fassbender is in Slow West, but I thought he.
Paul Bettany. Bettany?
Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, he's really good. Do you know who he is? You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Vision. He's really good.
Well, Prometheus was in the last 10 years. How did you feel about that movie?
Oh, man. Actually, I really liked Prometheus. It got a lot of hate.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it. The second one, I did not care for. I thought they capitulated to the internet outrage, you know, and I thought they did a good job. That's actually a really good example of like, hey, let's do this offshoot story, even though it's kind of an origin story. Like it just added this mythology. The visuals were great. It kind of ended up being a monster movie at the end of it all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which was weird. But, I think it asked a lot of the right questions, and I was eager to get those questions answered in the next movie, and then they just fucking killed them all. But whatever. What'd you think about Prometheus?
I liked it. It wasn't a perfect movie by any stretch. Like I guess kind of what you're saying, the whole thing with the monster, the character, of course it's been so long since I watched it, but the one guy just was evil for no reason, and that bugged me. The guy that like
like what's the guy who owned the company?
No, one of the crew members, I can't remember who it was. I just remember it was like he was a jackass, and you're just like, okay, why is this guy a jackass? I don't,
Right. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
But, man, the look of it, I loved.
Mm-hmm.
And, I enjoyed it. It was like a space opera kind of thing, but it had kind of a retro feel in a lot of ways.
Right.
But, like, kind of what you said, like the critics, what I read about this next movie, was it Alien Covenant?
Right.
Were so bad that I never saw it.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think it's a coincidence that Force Awakens comes out, and then a year or so later, Alien Covenant comes out. Because Alien Covenant does the same thing that Force Awakens does. It takes the same story and plot points and remixes it.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's the same thing as Alien.
Mm-hmm.
Even how they like win the day with like a heavy loader piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Kicking the alien off a ship. Like, it's the same thing.
Just the same
right?
beats, huh?
Yeah, in my opinion. And, like, it totally jettisoned this really cool mythology of the engineers and where that was going. Like, there was such an opportunity that they made for themselves, and I don't know, they got scared. I don't know, it's like they got scared to, like, go deep. But whatever.
Yeah, it's too bad.
I'm having a hard time. I know you haven't seen Dunkirk or Darkest Hour.
No, I heard Dunkirk was really good.
Dunkirk is great. We've got Nolan on here already. Dunkirk is really, really good.
Isn't Dunkirk supposed to have like 3 different like compressions of time going at the same time or something?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
That's pretty cool.
But it's really cool, and it doesn't like, I don't know. It doesn't feel as much work as his other movies do, but it's good. And it's a very quiet movie. And then Darkest Hour is I'm blanking on his name. Not Kingsley. What's his name?
Ben Kingsley?
No. What's his name?
We're talking about an actor
like
or the
Mom's
director?
Actor. He's like Mom's favorite actor. Whatever. Blah 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 blah. Directed by Joe Wright. So on and so forth.
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman. He plays Winston Churchill, and man, it is so good.
Yeah.
He does such a great job. But the two movies, like in actuality, The King's Speech, Darkest Hour, and Dunkirk are the same story told from three different angles.
Really?
And yeah, and they're so good. There's nobody coordinated between these movies, right? But you kind of learn a lot about this moment at the beginning of World War II, of how this whole thing kicked off, and yeah, it's really, really interesting. It's watching Darkest Hour and Dunkirk kind of came out in the same 12 months, kind of next to each other, and it was pretty interesting to watch. Darkest Hour is very much behind the scenes. You're in Parliament. You're trying to get this thing done, and Dunkirk is very much like boots on the ground, like what's going on.
Yeah.
Like it's like the who's pulling the strings and what is it like to have the strings pulled?
Yeah.
Because they may save your life.
Yeah.
Really good. And Gary Oldman, man, God, that guy's amazing. But I don't know which ones. I would like one of them to be on the list, but I don't know which one. I guess I would go Darkest Hour just because we already have Christopher Nolan on there.
Mm.
But
do you think you're going to see?
It's all nebulous at this point.
Do you think you're going to see 1917?
Yeah, I mean everybody says it's great.
Yeah, it looks good.
It cleaned up. I should say cleaned up, but it did really well. Did you watch Golden Globes?
No, I watched little clips of it on YouTube. I didn't actually watch it.
It's pretty good. I had it on in the background. I liked it.
So you weren't offended by Ricky Gervais?
No, man, I love that guy. Like even if you're offended, like that means he's doing his job,
right?
And did you watch his monologue?
Yeah, I did. I watched this someone on YouTube put a thing together. It was just all his bits, and I liked it. I liked that he was just relentlessly giving the celebrities shit.
Yeah, and he actually wasn't. I remember when he first hosted it, and I don't think I've watched a Golden Globe since then, until the most recent one. But he actually wasn't a part of the show that much. He had his monologue, and he really only came out one more time in the middle to say something, and then he wrapped the whole show up at the end, and that's it. He wasn't really involved that much. But
yeah, well, what I saw were like he would just have tiny little things where he would throw to someone else. Mm-hmm. But he would have like one little zinger every time.
Yeah, that's basically what he did. But it was good. Pick one. It's your turn.
Pick one?
Yeah, because now we have
22.
22, and yeah. So I've put 2 on here that I love but you haven't seen, and now you have 2 on here that you love and haven't seen, but I haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like, pick one from my list.
From your list, you just get to throw one up there.
Ew.
It's harder than you think.
It is hard. Yeah,
for as much as you and I hated on superhero movies, we've got a lot of superhero movies on here.
Yeah, but we have the smart ones.
Hey, going back to the Deathly Hallows.
Yeah.
Is part 2 the one where it opens up with? It's basically the 3 main characters. They're in hiding, and they're kind of like staying in a tent, like all over the world, trying to solve this problem. Like part 1 ends with. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure out which one's which. Because it got to a point in the Deathly Hallows where I'm like, oh, this should have been the movie the whole time. These 3 wizards in hiding, you know, trying to save the world, right? It got really interesting towards the end. But it's okay. You don't have to answer that now.
I'm like reading the synopsis and it's way too long. I don't remember. It all kind of blurs together because those movies, I wasn't like a super fan, so.
I think that movie will the Deathly Hallows on our list, especially since it says it's part 1, part 2. Like I do see it as one movie, kind of like Kill Bill, Volume 1, Volume 2.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Who, by the way, I can go off on a tangent later on, but like, I think Beatrix Kiddo from Kill Bill is the best superhero ever, and I really think she's more of a Batman. If you see her as like a superhero, like a crime fighter, like she's fantastic. It makes it kind of adds another dimension to those movies.
Really?
Yeah, I love those movies so much, but.
From my list, because I would want to pick something unique.
Go for it.
At this point, I would put Scott Pilgrim.
Okay. That's fine.
Because it stands out as different than everything else.
I think it's a. Yeah, I do really like it, and I really dig Scott Pilgrim. I thought it was, at the time, it was like different and edgy and fun, and you know, I thought it was good. Even though Scott Pilgrim is like a terrible person.
Yeah.
He's like the worst boyfriend ever.
Punk ass.
But yeah. You know, we don't have a lot of comedies on there. I'm going with Long Shot. Maybe I should do Bridesmaid. Bridesmaids was super funny. Nope, going Long Shot. I like it better.
What's the synopsis of that one again?
Charlize Theron is Secretary of State, and she decides to make a run for president. And then Seth Rogen is like a journalist who basically writes for like Mother Jones or, you know, some kind of like popular but edgy, tell it like it is kind of journalism. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And the backstory is that they grew up together. Like she used to babysit for him, and then he's down on his luck, so she gives him a job in her campaign, and because his paper basically gets bought out by like a Rupert Murdoch type of person.
Okay.
And it's so funny. I think it's hysterical. And Seth Rogen, like his movies are really good when they're not directed by him. You know what I mean? Like The Interview I thought was really good, which I think was directed by him, but I don't know. It's great. And Charlize Theron is, you don't realize she's got comedic chops. And it was like, I rolled off the couch holding my sides laughing when I saw it. It was good.
So,
but go ahead.
I just found another one that I hadn't put on my list. See what you think. Kick-Ass.
Oh, I love Kick-Ass. I totally forgot about Kick-Ass.
That is a pretty good movie.
It feels weird putting. Does it? I mean, it seems pretty close to Scott Pilgrim, though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, maybe a little less like. It's a little more adult, maybe.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if I had to choose, I would probably choose Kick-Ass over Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
But we can put it on the list.
Did you like the first Despicable Me?
I did.
Yeah,
I really did.
That was a good movie. That was 2010. Hot Tub Time Machine.
Super funny.
That was kind of funny.
I don't know if it's.
It's just kind of a silly movie, but
I do like the idea of Well, hang on. So are we putting Kick-Ass on here?
Yeah, I put it on there.
Okay. In lieu of Scott Pilgrim or in addition to?
For now, I'll put them both on there. I'm gonna keep looking.
Okay. Well, we're at 25 now.
Oh, we are? All right.
Yeah.
One of the worst movies ever
625.
made came out in 2010.
What?
The Last Airbender.
Oh, that's such a... Yeah, you're right. That's such a bummer, man.
Yeah.
Did you see this? The original animated series is
the best. Yeah, it's great.
amazing.
Yep.
It's so good.
Oh, okay. Here's a tough one. This is a movie I really liked, but it talked about just recreating beats from other things. Super 8.
Right. Yeah, Super 8 was kind of like in that classic Amblin style, right?
Yeah.
E.T.-ish, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was really excited to see it in the theaters, and I saw it in the theaters, and I dug it. I thought it was good.
Mm-hmm.
As time goes on, though, I'm like, it's all right.
Okay, I just...
You know?
Damn it. I keep finding more. This movie I would take one of those last two off for if it was me.
Okay.
Hannah.
Oh, shit. I love Hannah. I'm taking off Scott Pilgrim.
Hannah is such a good movie.
Yeah. Oh, man, I can't believe I missed that one. Hannah is really, really good.
Yeah.
And I also have the soundtrack.
Oh, it's
Chemical Brothers did it.
Yeah. But it
Yeah, Hannah's really good.
I love Hannah because it evokes the feel of these 70s thriller movies, but it's not just retread. It's really good.
Hmm.
Oh, Rango came out that year too. That's a good movie.
I love Rango.
Yeah, we could.
I really like Rango.
I feel like I keep discovering new movies on here.
Yeah, way to do your homework, Matt.
Yeah, sorry. Well, that reference thing wasn't very comprehensive.
I know. It's hard to it's hard to find a running list of all this.
Yeah. Now I'm literally just Googling films of 2012.
Yeah, Ringo's really good.
Yeah, it's a good animated.
I kind of want to put in the last 10 years. Man, what's that actor's name? Oh my God. He once he got out of television, he just really became this incredible actor, and his name is... Shoot, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name right now.
You're not talking about what's his name?
Guy from The Office.
Oh.
Steve
Carell.
Steve Carell. I think he has turned into such an amazing actor.
Oh yeah, he's a good actor.
And I want to put one of his movies on here. Oh. I want to put The Big Short on there because again, it's a movie that I think everybody should see. Uh-huh. It's funny and entertaining, but it's also educational.
Yeah.
Right? And how that whole thing went down. And then Steve Carell he's one of the, I think, breakout stars over the last 10 years, ever since he left The Office. Of course, that puts us over. Yeah, I'll take out The Darkest Hour. Bam. Big Short.
Oh man, Dread. I like that movie.
What's his face directed it?
Is that Denis Villeneuve?
Same guy. Yeah. Okay, man. Look at our list. Tell me what you think.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Not in any order, obviously.
Right. Big Short is hyperlinked.
Yeah, I can't get rid of that.
No, that's a good list.
Yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned Hannah.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that I saw and I was telling everybody I knew, you have to see this movie, and nobody listened to me.
Yeah, that's a really good movie.
All right.
I didn't see
Cool.
the series.
I'm good with this.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, I'm not going to see the series. I don't want to ruin it for myself.
No.
Okay, we have our list, our top 25 movies of the past 10 years. We made it. We did it. To quickly run through the list, we have Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor Ragnarok, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, Blade Runner 2049, Cabin in the Woods, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Hateful Eight, Inception, Arrival, John Wick, Mad Max Fury Road, Toy Story 3, Goon, True Grit, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Captain America Winter Soldier, Deadpool, Annihilation, Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, What We Do in the Shadows, Knives Out, Big Short, Hannah, Long Shot, and Kick-Ass. Okay, that's it. We made it, folks. Thanks for listening this whole time, Mom, because you're probably the only one listening to begin with. And we're going to come back and do an episode of our favorite television shows the last 10 years because we watched a lot of those too. All right, keep an eye out for that. Talk soon.